Hello ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel, The Lad Flicks Show. Today we're diving deep into one of the most thought-provoking films of the year, Nightbitch. The title is as wild as it sounds. But don't be fooled. There's much more going on beneath the surface than just a woman turning into a dog. Let's break it down. First things first, Nightbitch introduces us to a former artist, now a stay-at-home mom, who's feeling unmoored in the grind of daily life. Her once vibrant self seems to fade into the background as she's consumed by the pressures of motherhood. But things take a strange turn when she starts developing, well, let's call them canine traits. She grows a tail, her instincts start shifting, and she's confronted by these primal urges. And let's be honest, this transformation is a metaphor for something much deeper. This woman, who once thrived as an artist, is now struggling to find herself in the midst of motherhood. Her bond with her husband weakens, but interestingly, her connection with her child deepens. The kid, far more accepting of her oddities, becomes a grounding force. It's a fascinating dynamic, this battle between conformity and personal freedom, that really drives the narrative forward. One of the film's most shocking moments happens during a dinner party. Imagine this: she's on the edge. Her duality as both mother and animal is in full swing, and the dinner scene forces her to confront her identity head-on. It's raw, intense, and a little uncomfortable. And in that moment, she has to decide whether she'll continue down this path of transformation or reject it altogether. Now let's talk about the dog metaphor. On the surface it sounds quirky, right? A woman turning into a dog. But as the movie unfolds, it becomes clear that the metaphor isn't as grounded as it should be. Sure, it symbolizes her primal instincts and frustration, but the transformation isn't as deep or meaningful as the movie suggests. It's more of a joke than a fully realized concept. At times it feels like the film doesn't quite know whether it's a comedy or a horror flick. But let's give credit where it's due. Amy Adams absolutely nails the role. Her portrayal of this conflicted mother, swinging between anger, humor, and madness, is truly magnetic. There's a particular moment during a dinner with her old art world friends where she completely loses it. And it's a perfect example of her range. It's chaotic, funny, and real all at once. If anyone can elevate a film like Nightbitch, it's Adams only. Now let's touch on the feminist themes that run throughout Nightbitch. The film highlights the intense pressure women face, especially mothers. It's about reclaiming your voice, embracing your rage, and rejecting the constraints society places on women. While it's not groundbreaking, it's refreshing to see a film tackle these issues with humor and absurdity, offering a cathartic release for anyone who's ever felt stifled by societal expectations. There's also an interesting balance of humor and horror in the film. At times it's genuinely funny, especially in moments where the mother leans into her dog-like behavior with her son. But the horror aspect isn't as impactful. The dog transformation could have been far more unsettling, but it ends up feeling a bit underdeveloped. Still, the movie works best when it embraces the weirdness of the situation. The final act feels a bit dragged out, as the film explores her strained relationship with her husband. However, the ending is solid. It's open to interpretation but leaves a satisfying resolution. It's not about whether her transformation was real, but rather about finding a balance between societal expectations and her raw, untamed self. Ultimately, Nightbitch portrays motherhood not just as a challenge, but as a force of nature, something wild, messy, and yes, miraculous. So that's it for today's my spoiler-free review of Nightbitch. What do you think? Are you excited to see this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, let's chat about it. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Lad Flicks Show.